Hello everyone, Marco here from Team 2919M K-Force Robotics, otherwise known as Marco Polo and one I know on the VEX forums. And today is episode 1 of my Autodesk Inventor CAD tutorial, which will be covering downloading the program itself as well as a CAD library with parts, and then the beginning of using said program with placing parts. So to begin with, we're going to want to download the program. This link up here will be placed in the video description below, and once you're on this website, you're going to want to register and sign in and select this free software you want. Go with Inventor Professional 2014, slightly less buggy than 2015, and it's the one that this tutorial will be covering. Language, choose which language you'd like, and the operating system, and then you will be given a serial number and product key. Once you've done this, you can install and download the program, and with this, I got a notification already. With this, you'll be able to open Autodesk Inventor Professional once you have finished. Now, second thing you want to do is download a part library. Now, nicely, Supersonic Sparks by Jordan Kiesel has made a CAD library with majority parts. I'm putting this link in the description below, but there are multiple places online that you can get different CAD libraries, as well as the official VEX forums, but you have to download each part separately. Once the CAD library has been downloaded, you'll see that you have a folder with many different types of parts. For an example, I'll go into Metal C channels, and in here you'll see, the blurred out version of course, that these right here are different sized parts of what we're going to be able to build our robot with. You also have wheels, for example, and these are all the same dimensions as the real life counterparts. And we can further use these later on, as you'll see, to place them in Autodesk Inventor. So, to begin with, when you first open up Autodesk Inventor Professional 2014, this is what you're shown. We have the ribbon, which shows at the moment new open projects, which is what we're going to be using, and then you have options and Autodesk 360, which we don't need to worry about. To start off with, we're going to be creating a new project. This is going to be helpful for having all your assemblies or parts that you create for this project to have a directory of its own. So, go new, single user project, and we're just going to call this VEX CAD tutorial. And we're going to create a directory, and we're going to save it where I'm going to be saving all these videos in future. Robotics, CAD tutorial, oops, here we go, cool, and finish. So now whenever I save an assembly or save a part, it'll first open up the robotics videos and CAD tutorial. We can save it, and done. Now, to start off with, let's create a new assembly. So, these are parts, if we're going to be creating a new part, which you may well do in future, for example polycarb, but we're going to be going with a standard IM. Now you have to check that you're under the right project and go create. Now, depending on how fast your computer is, mine's quite slow, so it will take a second. but once we begin, any second now, you'll be shown a more in-depth menu ribbon, and on the side where it says no browser, we'll have, well, when you place parts, a parts list. So, here we go. What we have here is the Autodesk Inventor Professional assembly page. What we can do is we can place or we can create parts, and they'll show up on the screen. So let's go ahead and place a 35 long 5 wide C-channel. So first off, we're going to have to find where we have our actual CAD library. So mine will be somewhere. Let's find it. Here we go, Supersonic Sparks. And now let's put down a C-channel 5 wide 35 long aluminium. Yep. Here we go, we're zoomed in, so we'll zoom out with bringing the mouse wheel forward and click it with the left button. Now if we'd like, we can place more, so by just clicking them, and then once we finish, we right click and hit cancel. Now you'll notice that all these parts have green lines and purple and blue dots on them. This is this part sketch. It's helpful for, as you'll notice, if we zoom in, it has a small circle for putting in shafts or constraining wheels to the circle so that it's directly in the center of the hole. But it does make your computer run slower generally, so I usually go into View, go Object Visibility, and turn it off in 2D Sketches. Now we have 4 separate parts, and these 5 wides will be used for our exemplar drivetrain that we'll make in the next episode to come. So one thing we can do is change the perspective or angle of the parts we're working with. You hold down Shift, click down on your mouse wheel button, and you have the ability to move the part around. This is very useful when you want to work on constraints or placing parts on your robot at different angles. You can also do this by clicking on the actual cube itself and changing the angle with a more easier to work with to tell you which is the front and which is the back example. So we have our 4 5 wide 35 long C channels. Let's place the rest of the parts we're going to be needing. So let's go back to our library. We're going to need where are drive shafts? We'll get some wheels, 4-inch omnis. We'll get 4 of those. And for example, we have the CAD library here. I can open up drive shafts, and I can in fact drag it in just like that. So you can drag in parts from a different folder, which is also quite helpful because you can have a separate folder just open up there next to your Autodesk Inventor. And we're going to need some motors too, so let's find motors. We'll go with the 393 out wire. We're going to need 4 of these. And we're probably going to be needing a couple pieces of metal to brace these together as well. So we'll go over 2 wide, 35 long, and we'll take 2 of those. So, we have the parts we need, except for screws and nuts and bearings, to build our chassis. Constraints are going to be in the next episode, so stay tuned for that, and I hope you learnt, well, the beginnings of how to use Autodesk Inventor Professional. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below or send an email to my team email address, which I will leave in the video description below as well. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.